Hi everyone. I hope I'm audible. Let me just check if I'm live here. So today I'll be discussing about the epithelial tissue mainly and its types. Uh, I hope I'm audible because I have a cold. I'm a bit slow. 1 second. Let me just check this. All right. Okay, so before I start, let me introduce myself. I'm Vani Kari, biology educator at Unacademy. I'm an engineer with bachelor's and master's degree in biotechnology and a B.Ed degree. Also a founder of a startup where I grow microgreens by vertical farming technology. So join with us in Telegram for homework and class notes. You can join the channel Vani Kari ICSE class 9 and 10 biology and the Telegram channel of Unacademy ICSE and ISE both. So this link you can find in the description box. So go to the description box and find the link for the Telegram channel, the community link, special class link as and also the Bucks Bounty link. Okay, and special classes are conducted on Unacademy platform which are absolutely free. Okay, so you can learn from your favorite educator for free where the different educators are coming up with different themes, so you will have access to these classes because these are free classes. You can also engage with the educators via poll as they'll be conducting the quizzes there and clear your doubt in the live special class. So here basically you have a option where you can use the question tab, type in your question, attach an image and send it to the educator during a live session. So the educator will be getting a notification that the learner has asked a doubt and will be clearing your doubt. So now for the top special classes, you can visit the link in the description. Okay, so Unacademy subscription feature, you can learn live from the comfort of your home. Unlimited access to all the courses will be there. That is different educators will come up with different courses, so you will have access to all the courses once you take the subscription. Then top educators of India are going to take the classes in one platform, so that is Unacademy platform. Regular doubt clearing will be done, so that is after about every 3 session. The fourth session can be your doubt clearing session or an answer writing session. So whatever doubts you have will be clearing out your doubts and anything that you need. So basically answer writing here. I'm sorry. So we can also conduct the quizzes or some structured questions can be discussed here in this session. So you can go ahead with this and also exhaustive coverage. So here 100% syllabus coverage can be done, like 100% syllabus is covered, but in special classes only a certain percentage of topics will be covered, so it's not 100%. So it is better that you all go for the subscription and mentorship and guidance is also given, study material is given. So practice tests are given, live test series, and also you will have access to batches. So we have a batch in English, we have a batch in English. So once you take the subscription, so you will have access to both the batches, so you can go ahead with these batches. And also there is a daily practice section, weekly mock test series are also there, live quizzes, daily MCQ and subjective test series are also conducted. So you can make a best use of this one, as there is an offer also which is going on right now for ICSE for those learners who start their preparation early for JEE as well as NEET and NTSE. Okay, so you can go for the class 9 subscription or the class 10 subscription as well and go ahead with these subscriptions. So this is basically 1 year subscription for both, and this is not the cost. Basically, since this is a combo offer, the cost is reduced from 34,500 to 31,050, and with the referral code Vani YT. So this is my code. Okay, so you can use the code Vani YT to get 10% discount on the subscription. Okay, so it is applicable for both the classes, that is class 9 and 10. And also you can get 20% off on ICSE board, so that is plus subscription mainly. So this offer is valid till 30th of June. So today is already 29th, so till tomorrow you have this offer. So those who are planning to take maybe 9 months of subscription or 12 months, 18 months, so this is completely your choice. So if you have planned for class 9 and 10, maybe you can go with the 24 months or 18 months, or if you have just if you are just planning for class 9 or class 10 right now, maybe you can try with 12 months or 9 months. So if you are going for 12 months of subscription, you will be getting, so let's say you are in class 9, so you are going for 12 months of subscription, so you will be getting class 10, class 11 and class 12 subscription absolutely free along with this. And now you can see for 12 months it is not 17,250, it is 13,800, where you will be saving up to 3,450 with the referral code Vani YT. Okay, so you can use this code Vani YT to get 20% discount. So with this offer price, it is basically 13,800. So if you just want to try for 9 months, you can even go with the 11,960. So this is completely your choice, and the offer is gonna end tomorrow itself. Okay, so this is the regular pricing, but right now there is an offer going on, so you can go with the subscription here using the code Vani YT there. Okay, so let's get started with this. So that is basically the animal tissues. One second. So I'm audible, right? I'm little I'm having a cough today, so excuse me for a while. Alright, so this is animal tissues. Animal tissues are classified as epithelial tissue, and this epithelial tissue does the function of protection. Alright, so this also has a function of secretion. So this does secrete certain enzymes, or maybe certain liquid like saliva secretion is done, tear secretion is done. So this is all done by the epithelial. So protection, secretion and absorption, so that is whatever the food that you consume, so that food is digested, that is by different enzymes, which are again secreted by the epithelial tissue itself. Now this digested food is taken into the tissues again or cells again. So this is basically through the blood. Okay, so it will be taken inside the blood, and through the blood the digested food is supplied to the different tissues. So absorption is done again by the epithelial tissue itself. So these three are the main function. So some of the epithelial tissues have a neural ending also, that is a specialized epithelium we call it, and that is having a function of perception as well. Okay, so that is a specialized epithelium, or otherwise regularly it is basically protection, secretion and absorption are the three main functions which are associated with the animal tissue, so mainly the epithelial tissue. Okay, so moving on to the next one, so I'll just brief them out and then we'll go study about the epithelial tissue in detail. So now there is a connective tissue. So what exactly is this connective tissue? So connective tissue, when we mention, as the name itself suggests, it is connecting. Screen is not clear. Maybe you can refresh once, Utkarsh. You can just refresh once. I don't know, but for me it is anyway visible clearly. So connective tissue, when we mention, just a second, let me check my internet also once. Just a second. Yeah, it is fine. It is fine. It shows full networking. Alright. So this is epithelial tissue is there. Then there is connective tissue. So connective tissue function is basically connection. Like, connecting different organs, connecting different tissues. So connecting function is done by the connective tissue. So what exactly is connecting that? Like blood. Okay. So blood is transporting throughout your body, throughout your tissues or the cells, and it is transporting the nutrients, it is transporting the oxygen or the carbon dioxide. Okay. And the hormones are being transported. So this is about the blood. Now bone is also there, so bones are there, then tendons and ligaments. So everything, like, cartilage, bone, tendon, ligament, so all these are connecting. So you know that this part of a hand is connected to this part of a hand, so that is by a bone. And here in between you can find, the cartilage is also there, I mean, not cartilage, sorry, ligament is there, and also the tendon is found, and here this is a cartilage. So basically bone and the blood, when we mention, so they are connecting the different parts of your body. Okay. So now muscular tissue function is what? Anybody? What is the function of muscular tissue? What exactly does the muscular tissue does? Just a second, I'll switch on the fan. Yes. So basically muscular tissue does the function of movement. Okay. So what kind of movement? So basically, movement, that is contraction in the muscle, relaxation in the muscle. So it need not be voluntary movement. Like, now I can move my hand. So because the muscles are moving here. But still under the certain things which are not under my control, like, heartbeat. So there the muscle contraction is occurring. Uterus, while the delivery of the baby occurs. So there also it is not under my control. Basically you can find muscular tissues where there are involuntary muscles that are present and there are voluntary muscles. Okay. So with respect to that, so some of the movements are under our control, some of the movements are not under our control, like the lung. So lung also does expand and then, it contract. Then you can see the uterus contraction, the what is that, heart. So cardiac muscles are there, so again that contracts and relax. Yes, all types of movement. Yes. So muscular, when we mention, so it is associated with the movement. Okay. Then there is a neural tissue. So what exactly does a neural tissue does? Now any sensation that you get. Okay. So it need not be sensation of touch always. So it can be sensation of taste, sensation of eyesight. Basically you see things around. Then sensation of touch also is included. So basically, here the specialized epithelium are there where the neural tissue is supplied there, that is nerve is supplied, and you can sense things. Then in your eyes, so there are rods and cones. Okay. So the rods and cones will give you a black and white vision as well as a color vision. So this is there for color vision, this is there for black and white vision. So in all these cases, you are able to see colorful things around, you are able to see black and white things around. So that is because of these sensory cells, which are basically the sensory neurons itself. Okay. So there are sensory neurons. Really sorry. So there are sensory neurons present, and the motor neurons are present, so which are basically taking the information from the object. So let's say I'm viewing this object, so light rays are passing from this object into my eyes. So that is basically photoreceptors. So that is nothing but a neuron. It is a receptor. So photoreceptors are going to receive this light from this object, and then it falls here, then it will be taken to the brain. From brain it is given back to the eye, and that is how you can see the things clearly. Okay, so with that, basically the neural, when we mention, it is basically, you can sense things around you. So it can be with respect to taste, it can be with respect to hearing, this can even be with respect to eyesight, so sensation of touch. Okay, so what else I'm missing? Is there anything else? So five senses. Yeah, smell. Okay, so since I have a cold, maybe I forgot about that. So smell is also a one. Okay, so that is, the nose, ear, the tongue, that is basically mouth, eye, and the skin. So these are basically having a neurons, or a sensory neuron and a motor neuron, and that's the reason basically you can sense different things. That is a function of a neural tissue. So today's session will see about the epithelial tissue, the types of epithelial tissue, like how exactly this is gonna function. Okay, so epithelial tissue. So this one, the term epithelium was coined by, so he is the scientist Roysch. Okay, so his name is basically, the epithelial tissue term was coined by him. Okay, so this one anyway they won't ask in your exam, because this is not mentioned in your Selena anyway, but yes, you can anyway know this one. Okay, this is not mentioned in Selena. So this tissue provides a covering or lining for some part of the body. So what is that covering or a lining? So let's say now this is a body. Okay, so let's say this is a human now, and this is basically the neck region, the arm region. So here is the arm. So in general, I'm just drawing a rough diagram. Okay, so this is there, and basically you can see. And now there is a covering, so skin is there covering this part. So now the skin is epithelial tissue, like outside covering this, you can find a skin over there. So everywhere you can find the skin. Okay, so there is a skin everywhere. So this is just the outside that I'm talking about. So this we call as a covering now. Okay, and what else is given? So this particular epithelial tissue, so it is covering or it is lining. So what exactly is lining? So lining is basically on the inner side. Okay, so now on the inner side also there is a epithelial tissue lining that you can find for all these organs which are there in our body. So it is covering, it is also lining the different organs. Okay, so that is different organs of the body. So this one I just drew a outline one, but let's say here is a heart, or let's say the stomach is there. So we'll just draw the stomach now. So let's say here is the stomach. Okay, so now this stomach, again just like we say covering or lining. So this stomach area, why this is becoming like this? Okay, anyway, this is turning to be something else, but yes, all right. So now this is now a lining that is on the inner side. This is lined, so this is a lining, and on the outer side, just a second, yeah, and on the outer side also you can see there is a lining. So that means here also it is covering there. So that means it is not just for your external body part, just the skin over here. So not just that, your internal organs, what are they? So they are on the outside are covered by the epithelial tissue, on the inside are also covered by the epithelial tissue. So that is the meaning of this. So this tissue provides the covering or lining for some part of the body. And why exactly this is happening? Because the function I already mentioned. The function of epithelium, when we mention, it does the function of secretion. So secretion of enzyme. So now stomach is there. So this is now epithelial tissue itself, which is secreting an enzyme. So as soon as you eat a food, so that food has to be digested here inside. That is by release of the enzymes. and secretion is done by whom? So that is done by the epithelium, and that's the reason you can find there is a epithelial covering. So we can see it can be a simple epithelium. Alright, so what exactly is a simple epithelium? We'll discuss that. So simple epithelium is there, and also there is a compound epithelium. We'll see what exactly are those. So is this clear? Any doubt till this part? All of you? Yes. And other than that, the third point says the cells are compactly packed without intracellular space. So that means now you know a cuboidal epithelium. So let's see, I'll draw here. Now this is a basement membrane. Always whenever you come across the epithelial tissue, just a second. Okay. So whenever we say that there is a epithelial tissue, so there is a basement membrane that is present. So now the one that I have drawn, so this is called as a basement membrane. Okay. So this one is a basement membrane, and located on the basement membrane, so you can find different tissues there. So there is a cuboidal epithelium. So since these look cubical, so these are called as a cuboidal epithelium. Okay, so there is a cuboidal epithelium that you can find. So that means what? So there is no intercellular space, so they are tightly packed here. So they are, you know, they are completely packed here, so there is no space actually. Okay, and this is with respect to cuboidal, I said. So same way again there is a basement membrane. So let me just show here. So this one is again a basement membrane, and you can find there are flat cells. So what are those flat cells basically? So you can find the squamous epithelium, which are irregularly placed as such. So there is no intercellular space again. So now you know this is a squamous epithelium. So they are completely flat cells. Okay, so always a basement membrane is required, that is support is required, and on top you can see these cells. So this one is getting square. One second. So all this is basically a nucleus. So you can find they have their own nuclei. So here also it will have their own nuclei. So these are irregularly and flat cells, and they are not having any intercellular spaces. So now simple epithelium. So what exactly is simple epithelium? So simple epithelium is composed of single layer of the cell and function as the lining of body cavity, duct and the tube. So in that case, just a second, I'll just draw here and explain. Okay, so now you know the fourth point says what? So there is a simple, that means only one layer of, so let's say this is the gland, or maybe we can say this is a salivary gland. Okay, so there is a salivary gland. It is having a duct like this through which the saliva is secreted. Okay, so this one is the salivary gland. So how exactly this is going to occur? Because there is a simple is what? Just one layer of a cell you can find. So there is a cuboidal epithelium. So simple cuboidal epithelium might be present, and that is doing the function of secretion. So secretion of enzymes, so secretion of the saliva. So in all these cases, now this is the saliva is being secreted by this. So that is by forming the different cells. Okay, so that is only one layer is present, so that we call as a simple. Now if many layers are there, so let me just explain you that as well. So now you know this is, as usual, this is the basement membrane. Okay, and placed onto this placed onto this basement membrane, so you can see multiple layers of a cell there. So this is one cell, like this is just one layer that I'm drawing. So as such you can find multiple layers of the cells. Okay, so this is multiple layers of the cells are found. So it can be squamous, it can be columnar, but whatever you see on the top. So now you know the top cell is basically cuboidal, or the top cell can even be columnar like this. Okay, so now you know depending on what you observe on the top, so that is considered to be a particular epithelium. So now this one is a compound epithelium, but it is a compound cuboidal. So this part is compound cuboidal epithelium. Okay, so this one is the compound cuboidal epithelium, and this part is compound, and so this is compound columnar epithelium. Right, you got this? So this is compound columnar epithelium. So doesn't matter what type of cells are here below. Okay. So whether it is squamous, whether it is cuboidal, whether it is columnar, so doesn't matter. So it is only thing is that the top layer is observed and the name is given. So here it is cuboidal and hence it is compound cuboidal. So since there are multiple layers here, okay. So this is a multiple layers are there, and hence we call this to be a compound. So another name for compound is stratified. Okay, so what is stratified? So stratified, when we mention, so it is basically stratified epithelium, or compound epithelium is basically multiple layers are there. So here also this can be called as a compound or a stratified. Okay. So simple epithelium is what? It will have just a single layer, just lining the body cavity. So here I told you, right? So lining the body cavity, you can find just one layer of this cell. Okay, so this is lining now. So lining the body cavity, you can find a simple. So there are no multiple layers. Okay, so on the outside, so especially when we mention about skin, so skin is having a compound epithelium. So covering is basically a compound. Okay, so covering substance is basically compound epithelium. Lining one is basically a simple epithelium. Alright, so that is only one layer of lining of epithelial will be done, but on the outside you will have multiple layers of this skin. Okay, so that skin we call, right? So there are multiple layers. It's not that only one layer is present. So multiple layers of protection is provided to you, so that you know you do not hurt yourself, but still we do hurt ourselves. So that is by doing different activities, but yes, anyway this is there for the protection. Okay, so this is the covering. So covering you can find a compound, for lining you can find the simple. So this is composed of a single layer, so lining the body cavity, duct and the tubes. So compound epithelium consists of two or more than two layers of cells and is having a protective function. And whenever you come across a compound epithelium, so that means it is having a protection. A role of protection is given by the compound epithelium. The simple epithelium, when we mention, it does function of diffusion might be there, secretion, absorption can be done, but protection is not done by the simple. So compound whenever is present, so it will do the function of protection because multiple layers are there which are providing a protection. So now you can have a look at this. So simple epithelium is classified as squamous, which is basically flat and irregular cells you can find in there. Then simple epithelium, so that is cuboidal. So this can do the function of secretion. This can do the function of absorption also. Okay. Then columnar is there. So this also can do the function of secretion and also it can do the function of absorption. So these are the main functions. So squamous epithelium, it is flat irregular. So this one is cuboidal, like cube like, and this is column like. Okay, so this is column like. So what exactly is done by the squamous? Any exchange of gases that has to occur. Okay, so exchange of gases is possible. So that is by the squamous epithelium. So that is across the blood vessel. excuse me for 2 classes I have today on YouTube, but I have to take it anyway, so I'm having cold, so please don't mind. Okay, so this is about the secretion or the absorption, so which is basically a columnar epithelium. Now I'll just explain you where you can find the squamous epithelium. So let's say this is a blood vessel. Okay, so this is what? This is your blood vessel, and here is the alveoli. So alveoli, right, which is there in the lungs. So this one is what? This is alveoli. Okay, so now this particular blood vessel, so this is having a squamous epithelium where you can find flat cells there. Okay, so the flat cells are there covering as well as lining this blood vessel, so that the easy transport or easy absorption can be done. So on the inner side also you can find just one lining of this flat irregular cell. Okay, so now with respect to that, whatever you take in oxygen here, okay, so that is through the atmosphere, so this oxygen is going to diffuse across these cells. So that is alveolar cells, that is a squamous, which is flat one. So if it is thicker like columnar, or if it is thicker like cuboidal, so easy diffusion of oxygen, easy diffusion of carbon dioxide into the alveoli is not possible, and hence for diffusion, basically from high concentration to low concentration, you can see the movement of these molecules. So that is possible only if these cells are thinner there, and that's the reason the flat and irregular cells what we mentioned, so that is a squamous epithelium. Okay, so squamous epithelium is present lining the blood vessel, and also you can see this is present lining the alveoli, so that the easy exchange is possible. Yes, is that clear? What is the function of this alveoli? So this is about the flattened cell. Okay, so this is cube-like cell. This is column-like cell. Okay, so this one you can see simple epithelium. So all these are simple. Why? Because just a single layer of cells you can find in there, and hence we call this to be a simple epithelium. Okay, and now here also you can find a single layer of cells again. So this is a cuboidal epithelium, again a simple one. So here also you can find a single layer of cell, so that is again a columnar epithelium. So this is also a columnar epithelium, but you can see there is a cilia onto these cells. So where exactly do you think that these cells are present? Columnar epithelium or the ciliated, anywhere, like ciliated, where exactly do you find the cilia in your body? No idea on this? No idea? Okay, so cilia you can find in your body, so that is in the windpipe, or the one that we call as a trachea. Okay, so you can find this in a trachea or the windpipe, where, like, let's say this is now, I'll just draw here. So let's say this is the trachea. Okay, so this is what? This is trachea, and you can find a ciliated columnar epithelium there. So this is a columnar epithelium, so there wouldn't be any gap. Okay, so there wouldn't be any gap. So this is a columnar epithelium on both the sides. So you can find the columnar epithelium on both the sides there, and this columnar epithelium is ciliated. So why, any idea why they are ciliated like this? So you can see a cilia in there. Any idea? Any of you? No idea? So this is all cilia. Okay, I'll just explain you this. So now any dust particles that enter your body, or this is a this can be dust particle, or this can even be a virus or a fungi, okay, or the bacteria. So any of the foreign objects that enter, so they are going to be trapped by the cilia, and the cilia is going to always move in this direction that is outside, from your body to the outside, so that this is trapped in a mucus. So this is a bacteria, now this is a virus. So this is trapped in what? This is trapped in the mucus now. Okay, so this particular thing, so this is completely trapped in the mucus now. And whenever you sneeze, whenever you cough, so basically there are germs in your body. So right now I have a cold, so I have a cough, so that means I am having a virus in my body, and that virus is caught by the mucus in your windpipe or the trachea. So that is in my windpipe. So I'm having a lot of virus which are trapped by the mucus and also the cilia. So cilia always keeps moving in this direction, so that this trapped mucus along with the bacteria or a virus or a dust, anything that is there, so these can be thrown out of the body. So that is by coughing or sneezing, and that is why different people would get cough or they would get sneezing. So the reason being, as they have their mucus trapped with the bacteria, so like when you sneeze out, when you cough, so basically the droplets are moving through your body, that is through your mouth. Okay, and these trapped ones are all removed. So you, whenever you sneeze, so you get the sputum also, right? So whenever you cough, you get the sputum. So that is basically you just spit it out. So that is because it is having the germs in it, and that's the reason the ciliated columnar epithelium, when we mention, so you can find which is actually present in the lining. So that is lining the windpipe or the trachea. So you can also find it lining the uteral fallopian tube as well. So now the types of epithelium. So squamous we have discussed, the flat irregular one, simple cuboidal one, so because all the cells here are cuboidal in nature. Then you can find simple columnar, so these cells are columnar in nature. Then so this is stratified squamous. So you can see multiple layers are there. So this is stratified cuboidal. The top layer is just mentioned there. But yes, the below layers can be anything. The top layer is to be considered, and this is to be called as a stratified cuboidal. Then other than that, there is a pseudostratified columnar. So what is the meaning of this pseudostratified columnar? So now this is a columnar cell. This is columnar. Again you find there is a columnar. So somewhat randomly these columnar cells are arranged. Okay, so now some of the nuclei are arranged here, some are having a nuclei here, some are having a nuclei. So like it appears like two layers of cells are there. Okay, so not just one layer. So this is actually one layer. So this is one, this is one, this is one, this is one, this is one. So that means it is just a single layer of cell itself, but still it appears to be multiple layers. Why it appears to be multiple layers? Because the nuclei are arranged in a different way there, and that's the reason. One second. Yeah, and that's the reason you can feel that there are multiple layers of a cell, but no, there are no multiple layers, because this is a cuboidal epithelium. Then you can see the cells which are arranged randomly there. Okay, and some of the nuclei are here, some of the nuclei are here. So this gives the appearance of two layers of cells are there, and hence we call this to be a pseudo-stratified columnar. So transitional is like your bladder is there. So urinary bladder. Okay. So in urinary bladder, your urinary bladder has got the capacity to store the urine, okay, but you are not urinating, so you are storing the urine for a longer time. So there is a pressure that is created inside the bladder by storing of a urine, and that is when the epithelial tissue is going to change its shape. So that is transitional. So earlier it was a cuboidal epithelium like this, having placed on the basement membrane, but now when too much of urine is stored in the urinary bladder, so this will go undergo transition. So you have watched in reels, right? Like Instagram reels or YouTube shorts, they'll show. So there is a transition from something else to something else. So same way, the cuboidal epithelium is undergoing a transition because of the pressure that is built up. So cuboidal epithelium will now become the squamous like, okay, so it will become flatter because of the pressure that generated, and hence we call this to be a transitional epithelium. Okay, so now epithelial tissue, the squamous epithelium, so it is made up of single layer of flattened cells that is with irregular boundaries. So they are present the lining, so this is already done. So cuboidal epithelium is also single layered cube like cell found in ducts of gland, tubular parts of nephron of kidney, so that is for absorption and secretion. So now epithelial tissue is mentioned here, which is again a columnar epithelium. So these are made up of tall and slender cells. So you can see these are tall and slender cells, and this is just one layer of a cell which you can see, but still you can feel that there are two layers of a cell are there. So that is depending on the multiple layers of nucleus that you can see, and hence this can be called as a pseudostratified columnar. So now so free surface may have a microvilli found in the lining, so that is in order to increase the surface area for absorption. So now this is the columnar epithelium if we mention. So now it will increase the surface area, so that is by creating foldings like this. So if this is the surface area, only this would be the place that is available for absorption or secretion. Here what is happening? The surface area is increasing as the folding is occurring. So maximum amount of surface area is available. So that is for the food absorption or maybe for the enzyme secretion. So in that case you can find that the microvilli are formed. So what is that microvilli? So this is a brush border. So like this they'll form a microvilli. So that is to increase the surface area. So this is a cuboidal epithelium. Okay. So ciliated ones are called as ciliated epithelium. The columnar and cuboidal epithelium specialize for secretion known as the glandular epithelium. So this I already told you. So glandular, there can be multiple of cells will be there. So let's say here itself. So this is a gland now. So this is what a gland. So this is a salivary gland. So you can find multiple cells there, and these multiple cells are doing the function of secretion of the enzyme there. So with respect to that, the columnar and cuboidal epithelium, so these are specialized for secretion and these are known as glandular epithelium. So glandular epithelium may be unicellular, as in case of goblet cell of the alimentary canal, or multicellular as in case of a salivary gland. So this one is multicellular because this is a salivary gland, so you can find multiple cells there. So now again I told you, right, that is about the trachea. So I'll just explain it here. So now this is the windpipe or the trachea, and I told you that there is a columnar epithelium that is present. So this one is so this one is columnar epithelium there. Hi Krishna. Okay, so this one is columnar epithelium which is having a cilia as such, and in between you can find there are goblet cells. Okay, so this one is the goblet cell. Okay, so which appears like a goblet, the glass which is used for drinking. So it appears like this, and this is called as a goblet cell, and this does the function of secretion of the mucus. So mucus is secreted by these goblet cells, so that is, it is unicellular. Only one single cell is producing a mucus there, that is to trap the pathogens that have entered. So now you can see this is the goblet cell here with mucus which is being produced in here, and this is basically a multicellular structure. That is because it is a salivary gland where it secretes the saliva in large amount. So epithelial tissue main function is basically to provide a protection against the chemical and mechanical stress. So cover the dry surface of the skin, so that is moist surface of the buccal cavity as well. Okay, so here the main function which I already told you, like providing a protection, is done by the compound epithelium, and also they cover the dry surface of the skin. So the skin is completely covered by epithelial tissue itself. The moist surface of the buccal cavity is also covered by this epithelium. Okay, so we'll have a look at some questions. So the ciliated columnar epithelial cells, so that is in humans. So these are known to occur in. So this is ciliated columnar epithelium. Okay, so eustachian tube, stomach lining, bronchiole, fallopian tube, bile duct, esophagus, and fallopian tube, urethra. Any idea? So this is the answer. So that is the bronchioles and then the fallopian tube. One second. Yeah. So this is the answer. Why? Because the bronchiole is again being a part of this windpipe, so which is further divided as bronchi, and then there is formation of bronchiole that you can see. Okay. So now everywhere it is basically lined by the columnar epithelium itself, which is again lined by the cilia. All right, so the fallopian tube, so that is uterus also I told you, right? So uterus, so this is the uterus nerve, and you can see this is the fallopian tube as such. So this one is fallopian tube. So here also you can find the columnar epithelium, which is again having the the cilia there. So why exactly cilia is present in this case? So cilia is present, so the egg which is produced in the human body, so that is non-motile, it cannot move as such. So cilia movement will occur in this direction, so the egg will move from here to here, and then there is a fertilization that can be seen, so that is at the fallopian tube of the uterus, and hence it is bronchioles and the fallopian tube. So the kind of epithelium which forms the inner walls of blood vessels is so cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, ciliated columnar, and squamous. Anybody has idea on this? Yes. So the kind of epithelium which forms the inner walls of the blood vessels, so it is a squamous epithelium, because the flat cells are required, as the easy exchange of gases can be done through them. Okay, and hence you can find a squamous, which is basically a flat cell itself, and hence so this is basically for the diffusion of gases, and hence squamous epithelium is present lining this. Simple squamous epithelium, yes, that's right. Okay, so the epithelial tissue present on the inner surface of the bronchioles and the fallopian tube is glandular, ciliated, squamous, and cuboidal. This B, yes, that's right. So it is a ciliated epithelium, so ciliated columnar. So basically, just to move the things with the help of the cilia. So in that case, it is ciliated. So we are done with today's session. Okay, so next session we'll come up with different topics. And before I end this, so let me just say about the batches that we have. So this is the Guardians batch, which is basically all subject batch for class 9. And also there is the Avengers batch, which is going to start from 13th of July. So you can enroll for these batches. Here the mode of delivery is English, and in this case the mode of delivery is English. So you can go for any of these batches depending on your comfort, and PCMB are covered. So that is physics, chemistry, maths and bio are covered. So if you are subscribing for class 9, so you will be getting class 10, class 11 and class 12 subscription absolutely free with that. And there is a offer, so you can use my code VANIYT for all the subscription or maybe to unlock the free products that are available. So this is for ICSE class 9, where you can start your preparation early for JEE, NEET as well as NTSE. So this is my code to get 10% discount on this amount, as the offer is already, it has reduced the cost. But again, you will be getting a 10% discount on this particular referral code. So you can use the code VANIYT. Okay, so ICSE combo offer for class 10 is also the same thing. Right now, if not combo offer, the regular offer, so you can get 20% discount on the subscription. So you can try with 9 months or maybe 12 months. So if you have planned for class 10 as well, maybe you can go with the higher months of subscription too. Okay, and you can see that this is for 12 months, 17,250 is the amount, but the offer price is basically 13,800. So you can basically save up to 3,450. And this is my referral code again, so that is VANIYT. So I'll just change the color so that you can see. So VANIYT is the code. So with this code you will be getting 20% discount. So never miss on any update from your favorite educator, so that is in community. So get session notes and practice material. Share your feedback directly with the educator via poll. Again, you will find the link in the description box. So now Bucks Bounty. So this is opportunity for all learners to report any inappropriate content in the video. So be the first one to report a particular issue to claim your prize. Report any inappropriate content using the form in the description. So see you all in the next session. I hope you have understood today's topic. Okay, so see you all. So subscribe to our channel, that is Unacademy, ICSE and ISE boards. Click on bell icon to get notified about these sessions, and like and share the video with your friends. Download the Unacademy Learners app now. So this PDF anyway I can send on my Telegram. Okay, so see you all in the next session. Bye bye everyone, take care, thank you.